Hello internets, here we are with a little bit of a video. Well, for those that have been long time subscribers, you'll remember when we built this here shed back in 2011. Well, housed in this shed since 2011, 2012-ish, is an item that I want to dig out today and see if it worked or still works. It hasn't turned a wheel since 2012 and well, chances are it's scrap, but you never know. What am I talking about? Well, let's see if we can get a glimpse of it. In here, behind all the garbage underneath, you see that seat there. No, it's not a leather seat out of a truck or anything. You see that front little tiller type of thing. It's actually a mobile scooter for people with, well, special needs to get around with. That belonged to my dad, and when he moved, he didn't take it with him, and, well, here we are now. So let's get some stuff cleared away, see if we can roll her outside and give her an assessment, and see what it is. Okay, here we go. Of course, got a little bit more things covered on away. Finding a lot of my fire pit stuff, which will probably end up going this season anyway, one way or another. Got a bunch of bicycle parts back there from back in the day when I used to work on fix ride bikes, and that's sort of part of my past that is well, kind of gone, right? A little bit better look at the mobility scooter itself. Sort of. I'm still piled under things, but making some slow progress. Sort of filling up the garbages, hauling stuff to Goodwill, things like that. Up there is the taillights for my old 2009 GMC Canyon, and I think that's a box of VHS tapes there, which aren't really worth much anymore. It'll be interesting to know what kind of shape the scooter's in after sitting for, what's it been, 6 years? The batteries have been took out of it and put downstairs way back. They are probably dead, but we'll give them a charge and see what we come up with. So of course, got to clear some more stuff away so I can get it out, and once she's out we can assess, well, what's all going on. So, after a few days of rain, we can come back now and start working on the scooter. As you see, I got the door open, got stuff cleared away. The tires appear to still have some air in them. They are a bit soft, but we can deal with that. So let's roll her outside and, well, see what it looks like. So this is the first time since 2012 that this scooter has seen, well, the light of day. It's been in the shed since then, and here we are now. Other than, well, first glance here, a lot of dust. There is not anything looking to be wrong with it at first glance. The tires, like I said, are soft, but they don't look like they're off the rim or too terribly rotten. The keys I have inside, and the charging cords are tucked in the back. This here scooter has an internal charger, which means that, well, there's no external charger like a battery charger for a car. The battery charger is built into the scooter, so pretty much what you see is what you need to get her going. So what I'm going to do is pull the seat off, pull that little shroud off, exposing the battery compartment, and then well, we'll go hunt down the batteries, bring them up, install them, and well, let her charge and see what happens. Okay, so there we go. The batteries are now in her, and well, pretty much she's ready to go. However, obviously I'm going to give her a good charge before I try to run her. Well, one, because it's been, what, 6 years? since well, the batteries have been used, and even if there is a little bit of a charge in it, it'll quickly go dead. Now these batteries are the same size and kind of the same type as what you'd find in your standard ride-on mower. However, they're meant for electric wheelchairs and, you know, mobility scooters and stuff. And the main difference, from what I've been told, is they are a gel battery and they are sealed, meaning that if the wheelchair or scooter tips over, the risk of spilling out its contents is far less than your standard, you know, off-the-shelf battery. Now, of course, they can be replaced with your standard off-the-shelf, you know, riding mower battery, but again, if they do spill, then there could be an issue, right? So what I'm going to do is throw the shroud back on her, roll her back in the shed, and give her a plug-in, and well, we'll see if it takes a charge. It'll be a few hours, and we'll come on back and then give her another test. Okay, so here we go. Wrestled it up on top of the deck here, out of the wet grass. It's been, well, it has charged now for probably a good 14 to 18 hours. I come out and the onboard charger had shut off, so that means that the batteries have reached the, well, fully charged state. These here scooters have safety features to them, so, you know, they can't run away. They are supposed to be safe for people that maybe don't have the reaction that, you know, other people do. And sometimes it's the safety features that do go wrong with them over time. Pardon the dust and the sun, but as you see, you got two speeds. You got a slow and you got a fast. And then you have a selector range for 4 miles an hour or for 8. We're going to put her in 4 for right now. You do have hazards, and you do have a headlight, and you got a horn. And of course these are your indicators for left to right, like signal lights. So we'll turn the key. And I don't know if this camera can pick it up, but if you can see the needle jump, that means there's power in the system. And these are your throttle. Pull it towards you, it's reverse, push it away, and it goes forward. So, moment of truth after all these years. Does it still work? Now I will probably cycle the batteries a few times, run them down dead or close to dead, and then recharge them. They are a deep cycle battery, so they are meant to be run down and of course, you know, recharged. However, regardless of how you view it, they are old batteries by now. If memory serves me correctly, it was probably 2009, 2008 or so when those batteries were replaced last. So they are really old batteries. You know, 10-year-old batteries aren't as sharp as they once were. So whoever ends up with the scooter, if it checks out, I'll have to recommend that they look to replacing them. Like I did mention earlier, you can replace them with off-the-shelf riding mower batteries, but if there is an incident where they could tip over, there is a chance of them spilling. So let's get this baby cleaned up and, well, see what it looks like after all these years. Well, there we go. I gave the scooter a little bit of a wipe down, and at first glance it checks out fairly well. I let her run for, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, pretty much straight without any load, and it didn't stop or nothing, so the batteries must have took a half decent charge. I would like to take it out and give her a few runs under load, like me sitting in the seat, just to see how quickly the batteries go dead. If it's like one of those cheap power tools and 15 minutes later the batteries are dead, then that means that they obviously need to be replaced. I don't know why I kept this thing for as long as I have. You'd think after Dad quit using it in 2012 I would have got rid of it. I was thinking, we worked hard to get this here scooter 18 years ago, and there was times where, well, Dad needed transportation, whether it was a wheelchair or a scooter, and it was not available to him. We could not get it. We could not qualify. There was a time where we actually went to the hospital and borrowed a wheelchair for a few months until we actually were able to get one given to us, or before we were actually able to get one to replace it with. And this scooter was the same thing. We worked hard to get it, and it was kind of hard to let it go. There was a time where the scooter needed repair, like $900 worth, and we didn't have the money, and there was no help to be had anywhere. Well, one day there was a knock on the door, and virtually a complete stranger that knew our situation handed us a check for the amount that it took to fix it. And I think that's part of the reason why I kept it, is it was a blessing, it was a gift. We worked hard for it, it was part of Dad, is part of Dad. Dad and I spent a lot of time on this here scooter driving around, going for walks and stuff. Dad and I, well, it was kind of a piece of Dad. When the scooter was new and there were some issues with it, the technician here in town couldn't work on it, so we couldn't afford to drive to Edmonton to take it to the scooter store. So I'd learned to work on this thing myself, replacing the battery charger when it went bad, tracing broken wires when they broke, and other things, changing the tires over, rebuilding the suspensions, things like that. And if this thing checks out, I would like to pass it on to somebody else that that could use it. But after what's it been, 6 years of sitting, since 2012, the scooter has some life left in her. We'll have to see what the future holds for it, and around we roll. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.